Okay, just recently I made a video of my Wyvern Scout deck that I just did just for fun to show it off. So now I'm going to show you my deck that's based around the Dragon Red, my favorite dragon in the game. Not the most powerful dragon in the game, but he's my favorite and he's very cool looking. I also wanted to show you these sleeves that I'm using. For the Treasure Horde, I'm using what I wish was the Dragon Horde, but this is my Treasure Horde sleeves. And the Dragon LAIR, I'm using this. I don't have 50 of these. If I had 50 of these, I would have used this as the Treasure Horde and this is the Dragon, as the Dragon LAIR deck. But I like these sleeves a lot, and this is my favorite deck, so that's why I used them. So red is actually is my favorite dragon. Strength 6, costs 8 gold, which is, a lot of money. Immune to Dragon Slayers, add +1 to all battle action strength modifiers when played on red. So that sounds great. And if they can't do anything about your strength modifiers, it is great. But there's many ways to stop strength modifiers. So it is actually one of the weaker dragons that are immune to Dragon Slayers. If you look at all the different ones, it's still powerful. And but I just had to build the deck, especially when I saw this card. When I saw Ring of Power, I went, okay, now I have to build this deck. Ring of Power for 2 gold. All your Dwarven Army battle actions gain +1 strength and can't be canceled or countered. They can still be stolen. Steel strength will work against it. But when you play your Dwarven Army on red, that's with the Ring of Power, you get +3 for free, and it can't be countered. That's very difficult to deal with. So I play 14 Dwarven Armies. I might go to 16. I'm still wondering what changes I should make to this deck, but it's not like I'm playing a lot of Wyvern these days anymore. But we are looking for people. If you're in Chicago and would like to play some Wyvern, let us know. Nibelungs is a great Dwarven Army. The thing about these cards, though, is there's a risk. It says the player that wins this battle may draw 2 additional cards in their next draw phase. And Nibelungs counts as a Dwarven Army. So that's great if you win, but if your opponent wins the battle, they get it. I'm only running 2 Albrichs because I'm only currently running 8 treasures in this deck. I might increase that, though, and go to 4 Albrichs. That's what I'm considering. Alberich gets you, the winner of the battle gets an additional treasure position. That's why I'm only running 2 of him. But he's still a Dwarven Army, and that's worth it. But the real power, which if you've played a lot of Wyvern, you already know, is Dwarven Legion. It's +2 modifier for 3 gold, which is bad. But the player that wins this battle gains gold equal to the strength difference between the 2 sides at the end of this battle. And, of course, it's a Dwarven Army. I once attacked a scout and played this. At that moment, the score is 10-0. So if I win that battle, it's 10 gold. If I lose the battle, like if they play Poison Chalice, they'll get the 10 gold. And I think that's a really good card design. So that's the deck, but I have to build more. I've got 21 dragons and terrains here, so let's just go over them as quickly as I can. We're going to put blue in the deck because blue is amazing. I'm going to put big, powerful dragons in this deck. They cost a lot of gold, so hopefully Dwarven Legion will give me all the gold I need. Black, because it'll drain gold from your opponent. It's a 4-strength sub. Again, 6 gold costs is a ton. Cynoprosopi costs 5, but one of the best dragons in the game. A 4-strength dragon that can get help. Imagine him and red together, and now you've got to deal with both of them. That's pretty cool. I was one of the hardest dragons in the game to fight, because all the non-subterranean dragons in battle get -2. So if you get multiple dragons in the battle, which you usually don't, it's usually 1 against 1, but if they're playing help, I was pretty nasty. And if Cynoprosopi brings them in, that's pretty wild. Fire Drake is good as a 4-strength dragon, but for 6 gold, that's not good. But with defense, he gets +1 for every treasure in play, so he's very hard for your opponent to beat. But again, this costs 6, and then Draco costs 5, and he's just a 3-strength dragon, which is also a bad rate. But once he attacks, he has to continue to attack until he dies or discovers a terrain. So he can just keep attacking. It's potentially a very powerful card, but it can backfire. You could pay 5 gold, get your 3-strike dragon, and he dies, and you just spent 5 gold for a 3-strike dragon. So it's risk reward. There's only 3 scouts in the deck, and there's no need to put any more than 3, but I had to have at least 3. And I'm trying to get the focus. And Grendel is the best scout in the deck, in my opinion. So he's automatically in. He gets me gold, which I need every way of getting gold I can, but I can't make this totally about getting gold. Dragonfly can get me gold. This is a risk, though. I might take it out because I can lose gold. So I'm not sure if I want to play Dragonfly. But it is a flying scout, which is a big deal. Moghur is great because you can take out 2 terrains in 1 turn, but 2 gold costs. So is it worth the risk in this deck? I'm not really sure. I'd love to hear some comments from people letting me know what you think. What changes would you make? What would you do differently? So if you feel like leaving a comment, do so. Lindwurm is just a wonderful 0-strike dragon. Your opponent attacks, he loses the battle, but he doesn't die, and then you can swap him out and keep going. Buys you some time while you're trying to get to red, because you're not always going to get red in the game. Lambton Worm. So if I lose a battle position, Lambton Worm will get me that battle position back. Again, it's just buying time. And I don't mind if they attack Lambton Worm, because if he dies, I can bring him back and then swap him out. Kane Kua-Ana is really good. If I'm battling with red and I'm going to lose, I can just pay 2 gold and discard Kane Kua-Ana, and red stays on the battlefield. So that's excellent. Basilisk is, well, I would use Basilisk if my opponent had red. I would just attack in with Basilisk, and the red would die and Basilisk would die. But Basilisk is great against any dragon because it kills itself and the dragon. There are no winners or losers. You just both die. There's no battle actions you can play or anything. It's just a great card. Mixcoatl, this is just like my scout deck. It's the same 4 cards, 3 fields of gold, and Mixcoatl. That's a lot of gold that you can potentially get with Gold Dig. Mixcoatl can be used as an attacker because he can certainly, he has a good chance of taking something out. So I might attack with him if it's a good attack, but you have to be careful. Poison Chalice can wreck you. 3 terrains, giving me 21 cards. Island is great. If you put it in the back row and a flyer hits it, you get their flyer. If I put this in the back row and they hit Hurricane, kills the flyer, maybe Island is better and I should do 2 of them. Or maybe I should just use Stream and nothing else and just drain my opponent of gold. So that's the dragon deck. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And my camera's falling over. Let's show you the rest of the treasure hoard. So there's the 4 gold digs for all the gold. You get gold equal to the gold symbols on the card. So if this is in your discard pile and you play this, you get 4 gold. If Mixcoatl is there, you get 6 gold. It's phenomenal. I had Jason, but I think Galahad is better. And I'm just going with 1 Dragon Slayer. Galahad takes out any of the big guys. I'm not really worried about the little guys. I don't think so. Galahad can take out those giant native terrain dragons. Galahad is just a really good Dragon Slayer. 4 Meteor Showers, because you should run Meteor Showers in your deck. If you're not, you should. Magnetic Field is the most powerful card in the game. At least in my opinion it is. So run 4 of those. 1 Volcanic Eruption. I remember when I was playing and reading, they would say you can only use 1 copy of this in your deck. I don't know if everybody knows that who plays. It makes sense. They thought it was too manipulative that if you played 4 copies. But then again, it costs 2 gold. It's a great card. I used 1 Marduk in this deck for those times when my battle actions just aren't going to get me the victory. I can just play Marduk and attack, and no one can play battle actions. This is a very powerful common card, but it has its limits and drawbacks. But overall, it's an excellent card. But I'm just doing 1 of because I mostly want to play strength modifiers in this deck. 1 Prometheus, because you should put 1 Prometheus in all of your decks, in my opinion. They must show you their hand, and they lose 1 gold piece for each battle action card in their hand that they don't discard. It just takes away their battle action cards, which is great. I had 4 golden apples, changed it to 2 because of the gold cost. It's less gold the better. I had 2 knights, and I decided let's go with 4 knights and just 2 golden apples. Knight will stop the battle, keeping red alive. That's my goal, is to keep red alive and keep fighting with red for as long as I can. But if red dies, I have blue, I have black, I have Cynoprosopi. There's plenty of other dragons, so it's not like I have to keep red alive. And then the 3 power cards in the game: 2 Medea spell, which makes the dragon's base strength a 0. They don't all say base strength, but the updated version is base strength is 0. Poison Chalice: if you're losing, you're now winning. But of course, the battle isn't over, and your opponent could make it so they're losing. So it's not a guarantee that you're going to win the battle, but it is a powerful card, which is why it costs 3 gold. And then there's Power Switch, and here's the 2 different versions. The 2 dragons who started this battle switched strength numbers till the end of the battle. Then they updated it. The 2 dragons who started this battle switch base strength numbers until the end of the battle. So just realize that that was just a mistake by them. You know, this game was put together in the 1990s. They didn't think about everything. It's the base strength that switches, not current strength. And that made it a much more interesting battle. I went with 2 Fountains of Youth. Not sure, because I'm losing the battle. I'm thinking about putting Oriental Princesses in this deck and just going for gold. In which case I wouldn't want to do this because it would give my opponent gold. I would probably switch to golden apples instead. But no, that's a loss too. So no, I wouldn't do that either. But Fountains of Youth is just a great card. It works better than golden apple because you just discard it. They can't counter it. All they can do is destroy the treasure. So 2 Fountains of Youth to protect red. 1 gold market, which again is a risky card, but a potentially great card. When you play the gold market, put 2 of your gold pieces on it. In each of your draw phases, place 1 gold piece from the gold mine on it, and then as an action, you can discard this card to take all the gold. So you slowly build up gold, but you're risking 2. Hence, it's a gold market. You're investing 2 and you're hoping to make money. But you could lose money. I think it's a beautifully designed card. Then this one is interesting. Runic Tablet. It costs 2. Action. The next game activity you perform that requires payment is free. You then give this to your opponent, and the next action that they take that requires money is free. But it could be if it's 1 gold or whatever it is. I played this one time on turn 1, and I played it as a treasure, and then of course did the action. It's just an automatic, really. And I attacked with red. So red, which would normally cost me 8 gold, cost me 0. And that was that felt really good. So that's the deck. The next deck that I might make a video on, we'll see, I'm thinking about it, is based around this card, which is called Windsock Banner. All your archers gain +1 and cannot be stopped by any battle action or reaction cards. It's kind of the Ring of Power for archers. And I really like my archers deck. Archers can only be used when defending, though. So you need your opponent to attack. But I really enjoyed building this deck, and I enjoyed the few times that I played it with my friends back in the day. I haven't played much Wyvern at all lately, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all will leave a comment, tell me what you think, offer me some suggestions, and let's talk about some Wyvern. That would be a lot of fun. Talk to you all later. Bye.